Life as a kid can be very rough for a lot of us. Some of us, not so bad. More talking about me in that second one. But being a kid is what you do with it. That determines everything. It really does. You can try to blame the system and all the other stuff, which does have an effect, but it has an effect on everyone. The only people that aren't affected are the people too rich to be affected. And that's just how it is. And we can change that. We definitely can. But that's for another video, I guess. What am I gonna do as just a kid making money, trying to start off my early retirement, being invested? Well, first of all, I'm going to town on taking notes on stuff investors have said on YouTube. I'm going into that. I'm checking things out. I'm specifically looking for mistake videos, but not necessarily top 10 investor mistakes. No, 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 no. No. Mistakes like the ETF trap, what that stuff is, or mistakes on what accounts you're using. Not necessarily the hit stuff that people are doing that investors say. More deep down. So I'm taking notes on that genuinely. I have a notebook on that. I have a notebook or the same notebook with the other notes on other things. It's essentially just a book for you on what you're going to do with your life. And I live by it a lot. That that's something that really works for me. Maybe you don't like writing. It is what it is. But having those kind of ideas and ways to signify thoughts, get down knowledge so you don't have to scramble online to find a YouTube video. You just have your notebook and you just have to scramble through some pages. And if you actually make your pages a bit more organized and labeled, it won't be hard to find your stuff. Enough about notebooks though. How do I actually plan on making the money? Since I'm just a kid, I can't invest, I can't really do anything. Well, that's the thing, I can do something. I'm here on YouTube. If I do grow big enough, yeah, I can make some money. And that works for me, but that's not the end goal. I'm not basing myself off of one income. I'm not basing myself off of one skill of two skills of communication and video editing. Like, and if you try to say, well, I have video games in the background, well, no, I'm not any good. So it doesn't matter if I'm good at video games. What I would do as a kid, and as I'm actively doing, is open a certificate of deposit or CD. I have 300, 400 in there right now, and I'm making, I think, like 90 cents a month off of it, which for me, no income, no other stuff at the moment, 90 cents a month is huge. And then my savings account made like 3 cents, but whatever. Even that sort of income that's increased, 'cause the CD is like a 3.92% dividend yield compared to my savings account, which has about nothing. This is how you should be making money as a kid. Just naturally having invested money that's making you good return. Is it like the stock market? Is it like ETFs? No, but you can't legally do that yet. So find a way to legally do it. That and not spending your money. I really hate it when I see other kids, especially kids in my friend group, that are just wasting all their money every lunch on snacks at school. And they complain about school all the time. So they're feeding into the system that they hate. This is what all the systems are. It's just people feeding into the system they hate. And it's sad. Breaking that curse is the best thing to have ever happened to me and seemingly so many Gen Z kids. And maybe some Gen Alpha, but the only videos I see on YouTube or really social media in general is people that are in their 20s, which is age of Gen Z enough. So once you get your banking done, right, that's really the first thing you should be getting done, knowing what your money is, knowing what you have. And it's actually harder for me because I have an account in a completely different state because I moved states, and I've got a bit of money in there, and it's got about, oh yeah, I think it's like a 90, yeah, pretty much just a 92%, 0.92% difference in dividend yield, but I have way more, so it's technically making me more, but just kind of keeping track of that. I guess that just makes it harder for some people, but yeah, just make sure to have that all in check. I know this is taking a long time to explain, but this is very important. Banking is the most important part of your life if you want to be wealthy. That's what I've learned. You need to have rules and you need to keep track. Even as a kid, if you can do that. For example, not even related to me, one of my friends in my first hour math class, geometry, they have a spreadsheet that they use to show how much money they have on their school Chromebook. Like, and I don't even think it's on their account, like their personal account. I think it's on their Chromebook account, which is crazy. That kind of dedication is what makes people wealthy. They say that it's all hard work. It's really just smart work. Starting early and doing stuff. Now, with actually investing, I can't legally invest as I'm just a kid, but you can still find loopholes. And actually, I wouldn't even call it a loophole. It's just finding apps or websites that are official investing apps, that you can have a demo account. Stuff like Forex, which is just dollar to dollar comparisons. There's like Trading 212. I use that actually. Uh, some of them you need to like add your social security number and all that to get the free demo, which is a shame, but the two that I just said, you don't need that. You can just make an account, and then with Trading 212, you have to do a couple things before, and then you have to find the practice mode, but it's overall not that hard, and you can get a real look at all of the investing stuff. It's very healthy for you to see. And I would also just do research. I guess you don't have to write it down like me, but even just doing some research, looking at videos, and especially looking at the actual what companies are going into something, like if it's an ETX or an index fund, looking at what just it all has. Something I've learned recently is that a lot of ETFs all all invest in the same companies, or not all of them, but some of them can, like QQQ and VOO. I think they're both tech ones, or there's a couple of them that are a lot of the same. Do your own research on what that is, because if you invest into both ETFs, you're pretty much just investing in the same companies sometimes. So just do the research on that. That's very important. There's plenty of websites and apps for that. Personally, I have not started that, and I need to start that. I'll be truthful. And I also need to start actually looking at my investing apps again. I haven't really looked at them. The one main thing that I'm doing as well, which also is why I even started a YouTube channel, is skill stacking. Skill stacking is amazing. You've probably heard this term before if you've watched a lot of videos like this or investing stuff, but you probably never understood what it actually was unless they specifically said and had probably 5 minutes on it. Or you just haven't heard it, I don't know. But skill stacking is just getting skills that build on top of other skills that make you more valuable. Like this with video editing and communication. Communication is always good. Video editing, that can be good. That's something that can make me money. Maybe this video editing on this video could get me subscribers enough to get money off of YouTube. That can increase your value, right? Once again, you can do whatever you want with it. I'm not here to tell you exactly what to do. I'm telling you what's working for me, what's probably going to be the best for you. But if not, that's okay. You can go off and do that 9 to 5 job or maybe a more unique job. But even then, even the little tricks, they help you a lot. It's just skill stack. Do those things. And don't do it horizontally, do it vertically. Horizontally, meaning you're getting a wide spread of things. Vertically, meaning that you're building on top of the skills that already are similar. Like coding and video editing. Those are in the same-ish area. Close enough. Communication and coding. Coding is just communication to computers. And you can use communication with like little note marks. I forgot what they're called. I'm very new into it. To sum that all up, it's just get into banking and understanding things, especially trying to get higher yield savings accounts or CDs, then starting investing. I would try to put more money into investing. The most common, good considered, and typically less risky thing is more ETFs. That's what I see all the time. Just make sure you do your research. Once again, I'm just a kid, so obviously, what do I know I'm talking about, right? I'm just conveying what other people are saying. How do I keep planning to go forward? I just want to keep doing what I'm doing. I mean, yeah, my goal is to get a job at some point. Maybe a year from now, I am making money off of YouTube. Maybe I'm doing gigs. Who knows? You know, it's all stuff that ends up working out. But always have a goal. Right now, my main money goal for spending, which I don't like spending, but I want to go do a trip into France and Spain through the school that I'm at. But hey, it's a field trip and it's a lot of money, but it's a once in a lifetime experience. So having those goals also helps. Don't just do things meaninglessly. Have a real purpose. And something I'd like everyone to do in the world is to write down their values and their goals. If you just write it on a note card, just a note card, and you grab like a pin or something and you stick it on a wall where you're going to see it often, you can see all the things that are important to you. You can change it. You can add to it. You can get rid of whatever. Just try to give your life purpose, because that's exactly what they don't want you to have. There's a reason people don't succeed, and it's because people give up. They don't try. They don't believe in themselves. They don't think it's worth it. This is why people become druggies. It's true. They give up because they don't see a future because they're never educated. If you're watching this, I'm sure that you can get educated just fine. So I'd educate myself if I were anyone that can. The most important part, though, the very, very most important part, is to not give up after starting. Like, it's bad enough to never start and give up before you start. That's really bad. But to give up after you start is so bad. Like, obviously, if you start a business and you end up going into very big amounts of debt because your business flops, that's one thing to give up on. But if you start investing and you give up on investing, even if you're losing, like it's not worth it. Trust me, if you lose a lot of money in the stock market, don't sell. Really, don't sell. Just buy low again. That's it averages it out. It's an actual strategy. Buying low and high consistently. That is one thing. As soon as I can start investing legally, not that I am investing really, but once I can, I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be trying to put in money every month. Get a Roth IRA, okay? And it's not hard to open a brokerage. Brokerage. It you just gotta do it. And really, I wouldn't have these videos in the background. Maybe I'm not the most entertaining person, but there's plenty more that are. You think like early exit. He's very good. He's my inspiration for this kind of content. And there's many others. You start watching like 10, 20 early exit videos and you'll find plenty of other YouTubers that do the same thing. You will find your way, whether it's through the stuff that I do or someone else. But you never can do it alone. Thank you guys for watching. Talk in the next Admiral talk.